So young people are always under a lot of pressure. They always believe they're running out of time or that they're too late to do things, and they feel like there's so much pressure on them, right? Like the world is just putting pressure on them and they can't make progress. They can't make money. They don't know what to do, where to go. They don't know if they want to go to school or not go to school. So if you're a young person, you probably just clicked on this video because you feel like you have a lot of pressure to do something with your life. You feel like you're running out of time. You feel like you got to make fast decisions right now. And I'm here to tell you that's all a load of crap, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to give you an exact blueprint that you could follow to be successful in your 20s, almost guaranteed. Okay. Now, you're probably wondering, why should I listen to you, right? Well, I'm in my early 30s. Okay. I was able to make six figures through my 20s. I'm married as well in a day and age when everybody thinks it's impossible to get married. I've traveled. I went to Europe, Portugal, Italy, UK. And for most of my life, as you could tell by my sub count, this YouTube channel is relatively new. I've been pretty much a private person. I just feel like I need to put my info out there on how I did these things because I want to help the next generation. Okay. So, what are you going to do? What's the exact blueprint that you should follow? Okay, this is not the only way, but this is my way, the way that I came across that helped me. Okay, so number one is you got to realize that you have more time than you think. Okay, I know it's kind of hard because you don't have perspective right now. You can only live your life, and you think, you're 18, 19, 20, and you feel like you're running out of time. You got to understand, being 18 is like driving a new car off the lot. Okay, like basically, this car is brand new. You don't even have to take it to the mechanic, and it has miles to run. Okay, you're 18. All you got is time. That's your biggest asset. So what I recommend is that you slow the F down. Don't make no rash decisions real quick because your parents are pressuring you or your peers are pressuring you or you feel like you have to catch up to a sibling or something like that. Okay. Just take your time and plan out the first couple years of your life. Okay. Because at 18, basically you get a fresh start. It don't matter what you did in high school or before. Okay, you might be lacking in a couple skills, but that's okay because at 18, everybody is basically lacking experience. Okay, you're starting with a clean slate. All right, so first of all, the first rash decision that people make is that they go to university right away without a plan, or they don't go to university at all. Okay, it's like a all or nothing thing. They think either university is a scam or university is the end all be all, and the reality is it's somewhere in between. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna slow down and you're gonna realize it doesn't really matter what university you go to. Okay, that whole thing is just marketing. Unless you're trying to be like the president of the United States and you need to go to Harvard Law School or whatever, it really doesn't matter where you go. Okay, before you go to school, right? I recommend that you do something that I like to call getting up off the ground floor. What does that mean? Basically, when you graduate high school, you're at the ground floor. If you try to get a job right now, you're probably going to end up working in a fast food place or somewhere with low leverage, low amount of money per hour, or bad conditions, right? So what you're going to do is that you're going to dedicate at least half a year or a year into increasing your leverage by finding something that you can complete mildly fast that's going to give you a certificate or a license that's going to basically put you in the skilled labor category, because right now you're probably in the unskilled labor category, and just by investing, let's say, at least 6 months into completing a certificate or a license in something specific, you can get more leverage and start to make more money right away. Now, the fear that everyone tells me whenever I tell them I'm going to make this video is they tell me that the youth is going to get comfortable making money and they're not going to want to strive for more because they're making, let's say, $20 to $25 an hour. Now, my opinion on that is if $25 an hour deters you from following your dreams, you weren't going to follow your dreams anyways, okay? Because $25 an hour is not really, life changing money. Now, if you think that's life changing money and it puts you in a comfort zone, then you were going to be the type of person that was going to fall to comfort anyways. Okay. So I'm not scared to give this advice. Go ahead and get that skill right away early so that you can increase your leverage. And if you do go to college, now you have something to rely on to make money so that you don't have to be a broke college student throughout your college years. Okay. That's a mistake that I made. I didn't get a skill right away. I just went to college and I suffered for it because for 4 to 5 to 6 years, essentially, I didn't have any money and I had no leverage and no control over my life. Okay. So I don't want that to happen to you. So go ahead and get that skill early and get that out the way. Okay. Now, once you have that monetizable skill, now you can essentially go into the job market and get a job, right? Try to get that monetizable skill in the industry that you think you're going to be working in. What that's going to allow you to do is kind of get a read on the situation. Because what people do is they invest years into going to college without ever working in that industry. And they don't even know what the job really entails. So you're really investing a bunch of money and time into something that you don't even know what the outcome is going to be. And I just think that's not a really smart decision. That's how you get people, going into debt, into careers that they don't actually like. And then they have to go back to school to get something else. And they just wasted years of their life and a bunch of money. I don't want that to happen to you. So what you do is you get that first skill in the industry that you think you're going to be working in, and you're going to test that out. For example, you know, I work in a laboratory, medical laboratory, right? Then I could have got a phlebotomy certification, started working near a lab, and saw how the whole process worked before I invested the 5 years, the 6 years into, getting that career and investing a majority of my youth into ending up in a lab, right? Luckily, it worked out for me, but I know that for a lot of people, it doesn't work out that way, okay? I don't want that to be used. So you get that first skill in that industry and you start working early, so you could get a read of the land, right? All right. So third thing is you're gonna start your investing journey early. Okay. So I didn't start investing until I was about 24, 25. And, that's pretty early overall, but I think you could do better than me because I'm handing down this information so that you can do better than me, right? Something that young people don't understand about investing is that when you have time, the leverage of time, your investing power is actually strongest early because you have more time to let that compound and gain interest over time, right? So it's really powerful, even if you can get started early. Let's say at 18 years old, you start putting $100 a month into an investment. By the end of the year, you should have at least, let's say 1,200 in an investment account. That's basically insurance for the future. Essentially, that's money you don't have to worry about. You just leave it there long term. $1,200 might not seem like much, but when it compounds over, let's say, the next decade in your 20s, by the time uh you get the money out at 28, it should have at least doubled whatever it was initially in there, right? Hopefully you keep adding to the account so that by the time you withdraw to make a big purchase, either on a house, a car, or even paying down student loan debt, that money is theirs for you. So if you get that monetizable skill early, you start investing early, and you get a lay of the land, then now you are starting off on the right foot because now basically you're ensuring that when you a decade later want to take a different step, now you have money already invested growing for you. You don't have to start in your 30s or even your 40s like a lot of people do. And that's a huge mistake that young people don't even think about. And I know a lot of people online gurus and coaches or whatever, they try to get the youth to invest in their education, right? Or into themselves or into a business. And I completely agree with that. I think that's a good idea, but also don't neglect the power of compound interest. Okay. Compound interest is a huge asset that you could take advantage of. And that's something that really served me throughout my 20s. And that's why I'm sitting with a six-figure plus account right now, okay, in my early 30s. Easy, okay? Because essentially I just took the small steps in my 20s to get started early so that when I, started in my 30s, essentially I'm already a leg up. I don't have to really worry about that. And then fourth, I just want to add this: avoid debt like the plague. Okay, the thing is, young people, they're sold this thing about you need to start credit because you want to buy a house in the future and your credit score needs to be huge. Let me tell you something. When you got money, your credit score becomes pretty much irrelevant. Okay. I don't think about my freaking credit score because essentially, if I pay stuff with the credit card, it's going to get paid down because I make a lot of money. But you don't make a lot of money. So if you get credit, you're going to get effed up. Okay. I already know what's going to happen. You're going to, because you're young, inexperienced, you don't know what you're doing. You're going to start buying crap you don't need and you don't have the funds to really fix the situation. Okay. If I mess up, I got six figures coming in a year. Basically, I could just fix it, with the wave of my hand like that. But you don't have that privilege. So I don't want you effing with credit really until you're ready. Okay. So what do I recommend? Maybe you get a low balance credit card or a credit card that pays off automatically after a month with a low balance so you can't buy expensive things with it. Maybe like a starter credit card with maybe like a $500 balance or something like that. Nothing huge. I don't recommend you up that balance too crazy because, like I said, it's not necessary. Just play with the money you have on hand because, as I said in the first step, if you have that monetizable skill and you're making money, essentially you won't need credit. Okay. What are you trying to buy that's so expensive early at 18, 19, 20? Okay. Maybe you need one car loan. The thing is, more than likely your credit score is not even good enough for that. You might need a cosign from your parents, etc. Okay. So I wouldn't worry about credit too much. Just get started with the bare basics, a low balance starter credit card, and just make sure you pay it off automatically at the end of the month. Put it on auto pay. Okay. Don't get crazy with the credit. Be careful. A lot of people get effed up because of this. Okay. So if you avoid debt and you start investing early and you have a good job early, then you could get ahead in life pretty freaking easy. Okay. I think people make it complicated. I don't know why. Probably because they got too much information coming in at all times. But really, life is not that complicated. Okay. What you want to do, you make money, you grow the money by investing it, you save some from emergency, and then you keep going through life like that. It's really not that complicated. Okay. Let's end up with let's finish off with following your dreams, right? The whole fear that people gave me for making this video is the reason I didn't make this video earlier because I was like, okay, am I really influencing the youth in the proper way? Okay. I think I am because, like I said earlier, if you let $25 an hour dissuade you from following your dreams, you weren't going to follow your dreams anyways, okay? I know it kind of gets complex when you start adding in, for example, relationships and essentially like debts and things, okay? Because once you get in a relationship, like it or not, that relationship is gonna push you to progress through life a lot faster. They're gonna kind of push you to maybe get into a marriage or buy a house or plan for the future essentially. So honestly, my recommendation in your early life, 18, 19, 20, even till mid 20s, you should kind of be by yourself because I'm gonna be honest, like you're not mature enough to really uphold a relationship and take care of a relationship in the proper ways anyways. Okay, you're really just pretending to be mature. You're not really mature at that point. So my recommendation is, you stay single, you keep it basic, you save, you invest, and you level up that way through life. Okay, take the time to develop. Don't try to rush your life. You have plenty of time. Okay, use that time to your advantage. Okay. Now, as far as college is concerned, like I mentioned earlier, the college you go to doesn't matter. In fact, you can even get credits at different universities and just transfer them. Okay. At the end of the day, what matters is you get through and you get a monetizable skill. You have a plan for what career you want to go into. You don't go to college and spend a bunch of money just mindlessly taking classes and not actually completing a career, okay? That's the whole point of school, is that you get that monetizable skill. Because let me tell you something, the internet has devalued information, okay? Information is essentially free. I could go and get the same books the Harvard students are reading for their business classes and learn them that way. I don't need to pay a university a bunch of money to do that, okay? That's all just fluff, BS that they market to people so that they can bleed money from them, okay? So you're not going to do that if you're a smart person. What you're going to do, if you want the college experience, like I said, get that monetizable skill first so you don't have to be a broke college student and you can even pay for your classes throughout as you go through the semesters, right? Also, if you want, you could take summer classes at a community college. I did that when I was going to school. I would go to school at my university, then I would go back home during the summertime and take some classes at the community college and just combine them into my credits at the end of the year. Because at the end of the day, where you get your credits doesn't matter. Don't fall for the bull crap, okay? Just complete the credits, prerequisites, or whatever, and get into a specialized program where you could get a license or certificate and even raise your ground floor even higher. Now, what do I mean about raising this ground floor? Okay. Ground floor is essentially this. Okay. If something goes wrong during your career or even while you're pursuing a side business or whatever, then you could always fall back to that floor. And that floor is that monetizable skill, right? Because you work hard for it, you got the license, the certification, or whatever. In my case, that's medical lab science, right? I just started this YouTube channel. I got a little side project I'm doing with a friend. If we turn that into a business, let's say the business fails, I could always go back to the lab, right? Because I put in the work early in my life to get that monetizable skill. And that just gives you insurance to take risk essentially for free. Because I'm really not scared about what's going to happen because I always have that laboratory skill in the background just waiting just in case something goes wrong, okay? So, just to summarize, okay, so, number one, slow the F down. Okay. You got plenty of time. You don't need to be rushing. Number two, take that early time during the 18, 19, or 20 to get a monetizable skill fast, not the university route, because that's going to take you 4 years. You're going to have to be broke for like 4 or 5 years. I think that's a waste. You could just get something, let's say, an 8-week course in phlebotomy, right? Now you're working, making $20 an hour or whatever. You're not having to work fast food through your college years. And you could work part time at the hospital and you could take classes, part time. So, number three, remember that university, where you get your credits or whatever, doesn't matter. Just get them however way you want. If you want to do it the cheaper route with a college, community college, and not go the university route, really, there is no difference. Don't even worry about it. Okay. All that other shit that they're talking about is just fluff. So just forget about that. Don't let that influence your decisions and just take the practical approach. It's the fastest and best approach to success. Okay. Number four, you want to invest early, even if it's a little bit of money, because you're doing it so early. The compound growth is going to really help you out so that later in life, let's say in your 30s or whatever, you pull the money out, you have a bunch of money just waiting for you for that down payment, that car, or whatever else you're going to need later in life. And trust me, you're going to need it because life gets complex later on. Okay. Number five, keep your life simple. I recommend you stay single through your mid 20s at least, because really you want to get these things in order. Because if you front load the work, once you get into your later half of your 20s or into your early 30s, now you got a good foundation to stand on. That ground floor is really high, and now you can take risk into your entrepreneurial ventures essentially for free. Okay, because you have that confidence of, okay, I have this monetizable skill in the background. If anything happens, I could go back, regroup, and try again. Okay. You get basically free shots at goal, like they say. Okay. So if you do all these steps, basically, it guarantees you that you're going to be successful in your 20s. It's really not as hard as people or make it seem. Okay. I know people are going to probably watch this video and they're going to want to argue that, okay, the economy is so bad and the situation is really bad because, rents are expensive. But guess what? When I was in college, I didn't have a dollar to my name. Okay. I had nothing. and I was basically living with 3 other guys in a small apartment. Okay. And if I can do it then, I could probably do it now. It would just be slightly different because essentially I have more knowledge now. So I wouldn't be in that broke situation, but I wouldn't inflate my lifestyle too much because I know that if you start on a good foundation early, essentially you could chill for the rest of your life. And that's what I want for you. Okay. So if you like this video and you found it useful, go ahead and like and subscribe. I'm coming with more tips, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.